Philosophy and economics, also philosophy of economics, may refer to the branch of philosophy that studies issues relating to economics or, alternatively, to the branch of economics that studies its own foundations and status as a moral science. Scope, definition and ontology of economics. The question usually addressed in any subfield of philosophy is, what is X? A philosophical approach to the question, what is economics, is less likely to produce an answer than it is to produce a survey of the definitional and territorial difficulties and controversies. Similar considerations apply as a prologue to further discussion of methodology in a subject. Definitions of economics have varied over time from the modern origins of the subject, reflecting programmatic concerns and distinctions of expositors. Ontological questions continue with further "what is" questions addressed at fundamental economic phenomena, such as what is value, or what is a market. While it is possible to respond to such questions with real verbal definitions, the philosophical value of posing such questions actually aims at shifting entire perspectives as to the nature of the foundations of economics. Methodology and epistemology of economics. And epistemology deals with how we know things. In the philosophy of economics, this means asking questions such as, what kind of a truth claim is made by economic theories? For example, are we claiming that the theories relate to reality or perceptions? How can or should we prove economic theories? For example, must every economic theory be empirically verifiable? How exact are economic theories and can they lay claim to the status of an exact science? For example, are economic predictions as reliable as predictions in the natural sciences, and why or why not? Another way of expressing this issue is to ask whether economic theories can state laws. Philosophers of science and economists have explored these issues intensively since the work of Alexander Rosenberg and Daniel Hausmann dating to 3 decades ago. Rational choice, decision theory and game theory. Philosophical approaches in decision theory focus on foundational concepts in decision theory, for example, on the natures of choice or preference, rationality, risk and uncertainty, economic agents. Game theory is shared between a number of disciplines, but especially mathematics, economics and philosophy. Game theory is still extensively discussed within the field of the philosophy of economics. Game theory is closely related to and builds on decision theory and is likewise very strongly interdisciplinary. Ethics and justice. The ethics of economic systems deals with the issues such as how it is right to keep or distribute economic goods. Economic systems as a product of collective activity allow examination of their ethical consequences for all of their participants. Ethics and economics relates ethical studies to welfare economics. It has been argued that a closer relation between welfare economics and modern ethical studies may enrich both areas, even including predictive and descriptive economics as to rationality of behavior, given social interdependence. Ethics and justice overlap disciplines in different ways. Approaches are regarded as more philosophical when they study the fundamentals. For example, John Rawls' A Theory of Justice and Robert Nozick's Anarchy, State and Utopia. Justice, in economics, is a subcategory of welfare economics with models frequently representing the ethical social requirements of a given theory. Practical matters include such subjects as law and cost-benefit analysis. Utilitarianism, one of the ethical methodologies, has its origins inextricably interwoven with the emergence of modern economic thought. Today, utilitarianism has spread throughout applied ethics is one of a number of approaches. Non-utilitarian approaches in applied ethics are also now used when questioning the ethics of economic systems, e.g., rights-based approaches. Many political ideologies have been an immediate outgrowth of reflection on the ethics of economic systems. Marx, for example, is generally regarded primarily as a philosopher, his most notable work being on the philosophy of economics. Non-mainstream economic thinking. The philosophy of economics defines itself as including the questioning of foundations or assumptions of economics. The foundations and assumption of economics have been questioned from the perspective of noteworthy but typically underrepresented groups. These areas are therefore to be included within the philosophy of economics. Cross-cultural perspectives on economics. An example is the Buddhist-inspired Bhutanese gross national happiness concept. Amartya Sen is a renowned advocate for the integration of cross-cultural phenomena into economic thinking. Related area: economic anthropology. Feminist perspectives on economics, e.g., Drew Silabaka and Edith Kuiper Towards a Feminist Philosophy of Economics. Routledge, 2003. ISBN 0-415-283884. See also Feminist economics. Figures cited in the scholarly literature. Related disciplines. The ethics of economic systems is an area of overlap between business ethics and the philosophy of economics. People who write on the ethics of economic systems are more likely to call themselves political philosophers than business ethicists or economic philosophers. There is significant overlap between theoretical issues in economics and the philosophy of economics. As economics is generally accepted to have its origins in philosophy, the history of economics overlaps with the philosophy of economics. Degrees. Some universities offer joint degrees that combine philosophy, politics, and economics. These degrees cover many of the problems that are discussed in philosophy and economics, but are more broadly construed. A small number of universities, notably the LSE, the Erasmus University Rotterdam, Copenhagen Business School and the University of Bayreuth, offer master's degree programs specialized in philosophy and economics. Journals: Economics and Philosophy, Erasmus Journal for Philosophy and Economics, Journal of Economic Methodology, Aims and Scope, Philosophy and Public Affairs, Politics, Philosophy and Economics, Aims and Scope.